This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at SNNLive's Media Day at WestPark Capital in New York City. I have with me Dr. Robert Greenberg, Second Sight Medical Products, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is EYES. Bob, welcome back to SNNLive.
Thank you, Shelley. It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me back.
It's good to have you. Let's start out with an overview for our audience on the company, and then we'll go from there, if you would.
Sounds good. So Second Sight is a company that's developed a artificial retina. It's a device that stimulates the retinas of blind patients and restores vision to blindness. Currently, the product is commercially available in the U.S. and in Europe, and we're expanding to countries outside, including South America and Asia. And the product has restored vision to over 200 blind patients so far, and looking to expand that to all blindness in the coming future.
How large is this market?
So the market that we're addressing today is limited to hundreds of thousands of patients worldwide, but the market that we hope to address in the coming year or two is about 8 million patients who are blind from nearly all causes.
On average, I'm assuming, and I may be wrong, is it reimbursable?
So it is. In fact, Medicare is covering the device. In fact, one of our recent news items was that Medicare set the reimbursement rate preliminarily for 2017 at $150,000 per implant. And so we're very, very happy with Medicare's strong support of this device. And it's also being reimbursed in a number of countries in Europe.
So, growth-wise, are you going to be impacted by competition? How does it, are you alone? Are you first mover advantage? Any barriers to entry?
Yeah, so great questions. So let's start with barriers to entry. So we have a patent portfolio of over 300 issued patents, so very heavy patent portfolio that we've developed over the years. In terms of other barriers to entry, obviously the FDA approval was a significant one. We achieved that after many, many years of clinical research. There are no other companies that have yet even started a clinical trial in the United States, so we believe not only do we have a first mover advantage, but a very significant lead, particularly in the U.S. There are other companies trying to do similar things in Europe, but they're many, many years behind.
So what is your marketing approach for patient acquisition?
Another great question. So patient acquisition is a challenge actually in our case, because many of these patients, after they've gone blind, no longer go to their doctor because until now there was no therapy for them. So there was no reason to go to the doctor once they were diagnosed with a disease that was going to end in total blindness. They were basically told to go home and live life and make the best of it that you can. So we've had a direct-to-consumer campaign. What we found, interestingly, is that local radio ads seem to be the most effective in letting patients know about this product. And there are also foundations that have been very helpful. Many of these patients belong to various blindness organizations, and they've been very supportive of our work, as you can imagine.
Now, I haven't seen you in a while.
Been a while.
So what's new? What's happened over the course of the last couple of quarters of financial activity that you could report to us?
So some of the things that have been new is probably one of the things that we're very excited about is our 5-year data. So we've released a publication with the 5-year results from the Argus 2, and importantly, the 5-year data shows that the benefits of the system are sustained over a long period of time. We think that's going to be very important for reimbursement. We currently have about 40% of Americans covered under the Medicare, and we're looking to expand that, of course. And so we're hopeful that with this good long-term data that we'll be able to expand that to making more patients available for this therapy. We're making progress on our cortical stimulator. So this is actually a brain implant that will treat the 8 million patients that I was talking about, all blindness. We're making progress on those animal studies, and we're expecting to apply to the FDA this year to begin clinical trials. So we'll have our first patients early part of next year. And of course, Medicare's decision to reimburse at the full value of the implant for 2017 has also been a significant development for us.
Some investors that watch our videos would like to, I'm sure, know, where did the science derive? And who's the magical genius behind this?
Yeah, so I don't know that there's one magical genius. I think, fortunately, we've had hundreds of people literally contribute to this over the years. The science really started back at Duke University initially, and was the very, very first patent back in the 80s. To give you an idea of how long this has been in development, it's been about 25 years in development, and the later patents actually came from Johns Hopkins, where I was a graduate student, and so this was kind of spun out of work that I started 25 years ago in grad school.
So we're heading into the final quarter of 2016, looking forward. Tell me what you can about some milestones and some goals that you'd like to see the company achieve in 2017.
Sure. So, I think one of the things that we said on our last quarterly call is that we're looking forward to, now with the confidence over the new reimbursement, some continued growth on the sales side. We'll be opening centers in regions where we have Medicare reimbursement, and of course these new clinical trials with the Orion Cortical implant that allow us to expand the market dramatically. I think are going to be very significant over the next year.
Do you expect to be traveling a lot?
I think fortunately our plans for the clinical trial, which is what takes a lot of my time, are going to be, we're going to do them right in Los Angeles where we're based. So get to spend a little more time at home.
So for more information, which website would you like to send our audience to?
So secondsight.com, it's all one word, SECONDSIGHT.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Robert Greenberg, Second Sight Medical Products, Inc. It's a publicly traded company, and the symbol is EYES. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're coming to you from Media Day at WestPark Capitol in New York City. Bob, thanks for coming on.
Shelley, thank you. My pleasure.
You're quite welcome.